Welcome to Bloodbath TV. Today we're checking out The Halfway House. It starts off with a kidnapping, involves a corrupt nun, and ends with a wild Lovecraftian tentacle monster adventure.
This is honestly just a weird B-movie through and through. Stick around to find out more about this tentacle creature. We're gonna talk about everything in this movie. It will be filled with spoilers, but we will break it all down. First off, it's written and directed by Kenneth J. Hall. And if you're unfamiliar with him, you might be familiar with his late brother, Cleve Hall, who was a master makeup and special effects artist. He had a short TV show called Monster Man.
I'm Cleve Hall. I make monsters for the biggest names in Hollywood. That's why I'm the Monster Man.
And Cleve Hall's actually in this movie too, so are like his kids, who were also on the Monster Man show. But first, let's explain who the characters are. We have Larissa. She is a woman whose sister just went missing. She was kidnapped while she was jogging. We have the main detective, Dick Sheen, who decides that she should be undercover and thrown into this halfway house to investigate because they have suspicion that that's where she might be.
Couldn't they just have run away? I mean, the place doesn't exactly look like Club Med.
We have the nun, played by Mary Warnoff, who's creepy and weird, and we'll get into that.
But she is not as creepy as the handyman himself, Cleve Hall, known as Lutkus, but also a different kind of creepy, Father Fogarty.
He's into the girls that are staying here and very into spanking.
The power of Christ compels me.
And then of course we have the rest of the ensemble. We have the mean Latina homegirl gang.
I just happen to be the #1 bitch around here.
I can see that.
And then we have the lesbian couple in the innocent girl Cherry and her lover Eddie.
And finally, the one person who believes nothing is wrong in his community, Inspector Hines. He's just there making jokes and doesn't care about the crime rate.
Now get out of my office before I have you suspended for being such a moron.
So the movie kicks off with the kidnapping, and we're introduced to kind of some of the wildness right out the gate, because a mystery hooded figure straps down this woman on an altar, strips off her clothes, and feeds her to a big tentacle monster. And you're like, wait a second, I thought we were getting into like a halfway house movie. Like, we didn't really know. We thought it was just like killer nun, because that's what the poster suggests. Larissa reports the incident of her sister going missing.
She went out jogging 2 nights ago before dinner and never came back.
Nice tits.
This is where you find out this movie knows what it is. It's lighthearted, it's upbeat, they're cracking jokes, it knows it's a B movie, and it embraces it.
Sergeant Sheen, Dick Sheen.
And I suppose you like to keep your weapon nice and clean.
I beg your pardon?
Skip it.
It has that like porno feel to it.
Like both in storytelling and the sheer amount of nudity. We don't really need to step through everything because it's basically Larissa just trying to go from being like this normal grown woman to pretend like she's like this bad teenage girl. She shows up at the halfway house smoking, and Dick Sheen, just after banging her, is like, hey.
It's only a matter of time before she's into drugs, prostitution, armed robbery. What do you say, sister? Is this a life worth saving?
And of course, like the nun's like, yeah, we need to feed this monster in our basement. Fogarty's just like, well, yeah, I got my paddles upstairs and I'm ready to whoop that ass. So yeah, let's bring it on.
And basically they establish who all the characters are right away. So there's like no hiding it. Cause right when Eddie breaks out or tries to like escape, it's like immediately revealed that Cleve Hall, our handyman, is the hooded figure from the intro of the movie, and the nun is who's calling the shots. So it just jumps right in.
Your God can't save you now.
And that Lutkus guy is weird. He's always sniffing panties.
Oh, these must have been mixed up in my laundry.
He goes full Porky's.
Half Porky's.
Half Porky's. But we don't know what could have happened prior to like this first time seeing him looking through the hole of the shower.
That's a glory hole for sure. Larissa, after meeting the whole gang, she's like, oh, we have to clean now? Now it's time to investigate Fogarty because maybe he's doing something here. Even though they know full and well Lutkus was wearing the weird-ass radio headset that the jogger was wearing, and that's what tipped them off about this place being where the missing girls are coming from.
Stop thinking with your dick, Dick.
But what about the headphones?
Circumstantial bullshit, that's what.
That's the fucking guy. This guy looks like a creep. But no, Larissa thinks, I need to investigate Fogarty. After having a jelly bean that was once offered to her that she declined.
Jelly bean?
No.
She opens up the closet to find a bunch of paddles, to find his blow-up doll, and she like gets out of control because she hears Fogarty coming back. She's like, oh fuck, I gotta stuff this thing somewhere. And she stuffs it underneath the table.
You forgot all those really fancy magazines.
That dirty, old...
I think my favorite is House of Wax.
But then that brings it back to like the self-awareness.
They're just like, well, this is the scene we wanted to make and whatever. Okay, cut to the next one and just show more boobs. Because this movie is riddled with lots of lesbian encounters. There's actually a very weird scene of a girl getting completely fisted. And I just didn't see that coming.
That was foreshadowed.
But you don't see fisting in normal movies, John.
Just be careful bending over in the shower.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because you never know when a little Dutch boy might come along and shove his fist up a dyke.
There's more inner turmoil with the girls, like the homegirl squad.
We want to get even with you.
For what?
For losing us our privileges.
Yeah, and our dessert.
They're about to use a virgin on a virgin. But thankfully, Larissa comes in.
That's no way to treat a virgin.
Get the fuck out of here.
And basically fights in the slowest choreography that I've ever seen in my life.
And I do like that they stopped every time Father Fogarty was like coming through the hall.
Quiet, Father Fogarty's coming.
And then she whacks her over the head with the statue.
Then we get cue the porno scene.
Thank you for saving me. Oh, I'm gonna get with you now. Which is so weird because Larissa was like really into Dick Sheen.
Nice of you to invite me in.
But not only do we switch into porno mode here, we switch into 2-scene porno mode because we get a sex scene with Spider.
Maybe it's time to lose the hat. Maybe it's time to shave the head and get a black widow spider right on my skull.
Then you're gonna get all the girls.
Are you gonna sit there all night and drink my beer? You're gonna suck my dick.
You're gonna be popping more than a load. Your head will pop off.
That was shit, but fine, yes. He just got his head swooped right off. Oh, I loved that. And does she die?
She's sacrificed. She becomes dinner.
Much like all of the girls, which is great because it's basically the exact same scene every time. The girls are tied down very loosely. Their clothes are ripped off or they're already naked and they crank the wheel, open the wall, and in comes this big fucking monster. It looks so cheesy. It honestly looks like Shuma Gorath from Marvel vs. Capcom, or the knockoff Shuma Gorath from the new Doctor Strange movie. And he just gets his tentacles all up in their business and eats them.
If there are any more runaways, we'll have to put him on a diet.
Like, this is like the best part of this movie. We always just want something like this, a practical, life-size creature.
Hold on, you don't know if it's life-size.
It's about people size.
That's people size. You don't know if that's to scale in whatever creature size that would be.
I don't know the true scale of this creature, but it's larger than a miniature, so that made me happy.
And I love that she goes from like looking like a regular nun, I mean a creepy nun, to looking like she's the Lady of Highgarden from Game of Thrones.
To me, she looked like the sorceress from Castle Grayskull in the Masters of the Universe. They probably shop at the same store.
We're looking for bandana neck things and very large hats. Shortly after, we actually find out, like, so Larissa leaves here, she's like, I got some information. And Dick is like,
A rare book was stolen from the university library.
A book, so what?
Well, this book was called the Necronomicon.
that came from Miskatonic University. So this is like directly tying it into the Lovecraftian universe. And so now Larissa needs to go back in the halfway house and look for the Necronomicon and discover the secret layer that they have underneath the building.
But she doesn't discover it. The first person who discovers it is the inspector. He finally realizes something is up. And we get probably the goriest scene in this entire film, where our handyman does some handiwork.
I'll miss him. Inspector Hines. Who's played by a guy, like, I forget his name, but
I think it's Michael Gaglio.
He's in a ton of movies that look amazing. I basically just want to replace all of my existing watch list with only movies he's been in. He's been in such movies as Escape from Pleasure Planet, Lust in Space, College Co-eds versus Zombie Housewives, The Big Bus Theory, and of course classics like A Doggone Adventure. Pour one out for Inspector Hines.
Goodbye, Inspector.
Larissa and Dick decide to team up and finally go and put a stop to whatever's happening in his basement. But unfortunately, Dick Sheen gets a machete through his chest and dies. Or does he? For now, he just lays there dead.
She doesn't care about him. She's got Cherry. That's
true.
That's the part that actually makes me mad. Can I just say on an aside here that I actually dislike Cherry's character?
My friends call me Cherry Pie. I do hope we can be friends.
I liked her. I mean, I couldn't hang out with her.
So you wouldn't like her?
I liked her for the scope of this movie. Any more than that, I don't think so. She takes Dick's gun and heads to the basement.
She didn't even need the gun because she can't shoot worth shit.
We forgot that this is also where Father Fogarty is going downstairs because he also is oblivious. He has no idea what the nun is doing downstairs.
You are out of uniform!
Friggin' Lutkus is creeping by the door.
He goes full clock tower on us.
And he just chops off his head ever so slowly, and it is hysterical. And then he dies.
And that's when we learn that Larissa has a terrible shot because she can't shoot Lucas from like point blank range. We also get the return of Dick Sheen, our real hero of the film, as he saved Larissa and stopped Lucas.
By hugging him, the power of love.
Who's gonna be there when it really counts to that careless countdown?
And it's also revealed that the nun wants to just like bang these creatures from this other planet or world.
You mean you plan on fucking some monster from beyond? And having its children? You're a lot sicker than I thought.
Anyway, she doesn't get what she's always wanted. She gets eaten while bashing this thing in the head with like a random gas tank. And this is where Larissa gets to show off her shooting skills again.
Marksmanship.
Looks like the wedding's off.
And she pops a few shots and eventually just blows this thing to smithereens.
Smile, you son of a bitch!
Her and Cherry live happily ever after.
But wait, there's more. Another eye blinks at the end, setting up for a sequel that never came. And that's unfortunate because this movie was actually really fun. I think the acting is just hysterical.
You got a smart mouth. Maybe I should shut it for you.
You and what army?
Me and my homegirls. How would you like us to rearrange your face?
For the time frame that this movie has been out, nobody is talking about it, and I feel as though it should be better known. This is a hidden gem.
Yeah, 100%, and I would highly recommend it. And I think that most people should check it out, especially if you like B-movies. And you like B-movies that just go off the rails, that are somewhat self-aware, but still kind of bad and unself-aware about certain aspects. It's just fun. So I'm gonna give this the abnormally high rating of 4 terrible laundry escape plans that somehow work out of 5.
I gotta be honest, I loved this film. If I knew that this film existed in like 2004, this would have been exactly what I would have wanted to watch at that time. Coming to this now, I think this is a film everyone should check out. It's not, it's so bad it's good, it's just a good time. And with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 4 bedazzled paddles out of 5.
Kindly lean against the desk and repeat after me.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. If you want to support the channel in any way, check out the Patreon, also linked in the description. And subscribe to the channel to find more hidden gems or just movies that are so bad that they might not be good, but we make fun videos here.
Your flesh will provide sustenance for a being vastly superior to you.